Does your child love learning about outdoor skills like fort building, plant identification, and archery? Old Moon Homestead in Lyndhurst is presenting their first 4 school and outdoor education session starting November 21st. Here to tell us all about it is Tao Lynn Carr. Welcome, Tao.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. So this is the first time you are starting these sessions. Tell me a little bit about what these sessions are all about and why you decided to start it.
We've been dreaming about hosting a forest school on our property. We're very blessed. We live on an ambling 40-acre property with meadows and forests and rocky landscapes, and so we've thought about doing it for a few years. My boys, I have 4 little boys that are all now old enough to appreciate and hopefully take away some skill building as well. And we felt that given the current landscape of our country and of the world, learning these skills is so important. I read this statistic that children between the ages of 5 and 12 can name 50 to 100 brands and almost no plants or trees. So we thought maybe having the opportunity to create structure for that learning in a fun and safe environment would be of benefit to our community, both large and small.
I want to talk a little bit about these activities and which age groups you're trying to attract to the program.
So we have 2 sessions running right now. On Thursday mornings, the program is designed for ages 2 to 6 or so. So the skill development in these programs is less structured, less formal. We'll be doing art and craft activities. We'll be enjoying hot chocolate. We'll be telling traditional stories that are land-based and that help to draw purpose to the land and the environment in which they're in. The Saturday morning program is designed for ages 6 to 12. So we'll be working on knot tying, archery skills, plant identification, both edible and non-edible, tree types. So, at the very basis, we'd like to see that children can understand deciduous and evergreen, but we'd also like to see that they are able to further that by understanding how bark types differentiate, how leaves can give us clues as to the different properties of trees, some of which are edible, like the sugar maple, some of which provide medicine, some of which are just beautiful. And we have a property that allows for that because we have quite a diversity in the ecostructure of our property.
November is getting cooler weather. Why not summertime? Why not start this session in the summer?
I think whether or not you're an urban child or someone who lives out in the forest or in a more rural environment, access to the outdoors in the warmer months is a given. Whether you're involved with recreational activities like sports or soccer, it's easy to get outside in the summer. In the winter, we tend to go into hibernation mode. However, there are so many skills that are important to develop. And what does it smell like when it's going to snow? What do different evergreen trees, how do they deal with the colder months? The tamarack loses most of its greens, for example, but not very many people know that. So it's an opportunity to spend some time outside around a fire, connecting with your community and connecting with the environment in the darker half of the year when many people are beginning to become more reclusive.
And you want people, say, from the city to come and try these sessions because, as you say, it's hibernation time for us, but the experience may give them such benefits from learning about what you've just talked about. Is that what your end goal is?
We're very lucky to live out in the country. Having said that, being out in the country means that we have to create a lot of the culture that we want our children and our community to be founded in. But because we have this access to the beautiful outdoors and are forced to go out to take care of our chickens and to be present on the land, I would love to be able to share that with people who are living in the city and who have different opportunities, but maybe don't find themselves out in the forest in December.
So I was looking at all the things you have to offer, like den and fort building, bramble weaving, archery, and then free play in mud or snow, which sounds like fun to me, arts and crafts. But you had me at offering cocoa around a fire. That sounded so exciting because you don't often get to do that. I want to know what bramble weaving is. Can you describe that?
Absolutely, yeah. So the fire pit around which we'll gather is at the top of a small hill, and it's a forested hill. So that's where the cocoa will take place if you're coming for that. But there's also lots of beautiful bramble, grapevine, willow that exists sort of in that immediate vicinity. And those are plants that want to be woven. And so making those into wreaths and crowns and wands, you know, is a really wonderful way of keeping your hands busy, even in the cold. It doesn't require that much dexterity. And it's a wonderful way to initiate a reciprocity with the land. You know, when you can make yourself a simple crown and then be crowned the queen of the forest, you feel very in touch with being in the trees, you know. And so we're hoping that starting this process of looking around and gathering your tools from what is laying on the ground, from what has fallen, and then making that into beautiful art projects, so to speak. I think it's a very accessible way for children to start learning about being present in nature.
How can people reach you for more information?
So the best way is just to send me an email. My email is oldmoonhomestead@gmail.com, or you can give me a call. I always answer my cell phone. So the phone number is 613-292-1564. Being fairly farmy and foresty, I have not initiated like a formal website yet. I've posted it on my personal Facebook, and I think we will initialize like a Facebook page for it because it's generating some interest. I wasn't sure how it would be received when I first put the idea forth, but that's the best way, is just directly emailing or calling me. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and I've got registration forms that I can send out. So there is a cost associated with the program. It costs $125. It's a 6-week series. So each session is 2 hours. It runs from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. on Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursdays, again, is for the younger group, and the Saturday program is for the older kids. Now, our age range is fairly loose. If there's a family that has a younger child and they would like to join our Saturday program, that's absolutely fine, and same for the Thursday. Both programs will be aimed at skill development. We're just looking at some more mature skill development and longer forest walks for the older program.
Cal, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.